Fallout 76 has released, and it has disappointed a lot of fans. Like, a lot. But now with this release, we have 9 Fallout games. That's 9 Fallout games. That's a lot. Some of them are bad, some of them are good. So this is my personal ranking of the Fallout games. Now, this is my own opinion. You don't have to agree with it. You can leave me a scathing comment if you don't agree. And if you do agree, you can say yay, give me a thumbs up. And also put your own list ranking in the comments because I'd love to hear what you think. And before we get started, remember to as well subscribe, click that bell notification icon to stay notified on when I upload every Tuesday through Friday. And with that, let's rank the Fallout games. So Fallout as a series, it's a great series, but there's some good ones, some bad ones, and the bad ones tend to be a lot worse than what you'd want. So let's start out with the worst. This game I didn't even know existed until making this list. That's why it's the worst. And many people rank it the worst. I've never touched it, but I had to include it in the list. Fallout Brotherhood of Steel. Now, this isn't Fallout Tactics. That's a different game. This is just Brotherhood of Steel. See, you're probably confused because I never heard about it either. I don't know like anything about it, but you know, it exists. It's a Fallout game. It's not very well liked by anybody. So, and it's apparently non-canon. So, you know, there you go. Then the next worst on the list is Fallout Tactics Brotherhood of Steel, the second game in the Fallout universe that has the Brotherhood of Steel title. But this one's a little bit better. It's not like a normal Fallout game. It's a turn-based, kind of like XCOM type game. And it's very dated for this time period nowadays. And it's just not, it doesn't feel like you're playing Fallout. So that's why it's low on the list. You know, if Fallout was like this, it probably would have been bigger and better. But Fallout is a single-player RPG, so this is just not it. It's not Fallout. But they took a risk with it, tried something new. I admire that, but it's not as good as it could be. Next up on the list is Fallout, the original Fallout. Saw you experience the wasteland for the first time, going and finding a water chip for the vault, and at the time, it was amazing. Nowadays, it's pretty dated with all the new Fallout games. I don't see myself going and touching it very often. But when it was released, it was adored, and it started this franchise, so you gotta give it some credit there, because without this, we might not have the franchise we have today. Next up is, again, not another mainline Fallout game. It's not really canon either. But it's fun. Fallout Shelter. It's a mobile game where you manage your own vault, and it's got a great concept. It released before Fallout 4. It released the day they announced it, I think. And now you can play it on mobile, on PC, I think, on Xbox, on Switch. You can play it on anything nowadays, but it is definitely not a mainline Fallout game. It feels nothing like Fallout because it's not supposed to be. It's supposed to be a mobile game, a quick little mobile game, but it's a good mobile game. Yes, there's money, they want you to buy things and, you know, microtransactions, it's plenty, but it's not overly forceful, and you still have normal Fallout games you can go back to. This is just a fun little game you can play on the toilet, and it is fun. I've tried and made like 4 or 5 different vaults, and just now I think I'm on like vault 69. I'm funny, but it's been doing well. It's been doing well. We got lots of water and stuff, but we did get attacked by bandits and stuff, so that wasn't fun. Next up on the list, this might be controversial, Fallout 76. It's not the worst Fallout game, alright? There are worse Fallout games, but it's not the best Fallout game. It's the newest Fallout game, but it feels like an old Fallout game, but it doesn't feel like Fallout at the same time. Do you understand what I just said? Probably not, but I'll explain. Fallout 76 is the multiplayer-only Fallout, which, in theory, I think would be a great concept. Alright, being able to go through the wasteland with my friends has been something I've always wanted to do. And Fallout 76 is giving me that opportunity, but it's not there yet. Right now, it just feels like Rust with a Fallout skin, which isn't necessarily bad, but it's just not a Fallout game. And it deserves to be. It deserves to be amazing. but it's not horrible. It's fun in spurts, especially with friends. It's not a crappy game, but it's not a top of the line. The game world looks beautiful. It's beautifully made. They just had an update on Monday that completely fixed the stabilization and made it run a lot smoother. It's still got a lot of problems though, but it just came out. It's got time. But it's not, it'll probably never be the top Fallout game, but it's not the worst either. Next up on the list is Fallout 3. Fallout 3 would be higher on the list because I like it, alright? It's a good game. The whole intro where you're, going through your life and growing up in the vault, that's a really cleverly done intro. The problem is it doesn't work on Windows 10. So I have to play it on Xbox or Windows 10 if I download some things. Bethesda has not put in the time to make it Windows 10, which is sad because this was the first 3D Fallout and it's a pretty great Fallout. It's dated and it doesn't work on Windows 10 at all, and there's better Fallouts, but it's still a fun Fallout experiencing it in 3D and lots of decisions you had to make. It was very decision focused, very story focused, and that was great. Next up is Fallout 2. Fallout 2 immensely improved over Fallout 1, but this day and age it's still kind of dated, but the RPG elements are strong. They are strong in it, filled throughout. It is one of the best RPGs ever created. One of, because, it's not the top of my list, but it's a great game nonetheless. It's just nowadays I don't see myself jumping into it as often. Alright, the vault will have to save itself, but it improved a lot. Next up, now, this may be controversial because it's not number one, but Fallout New Vegas. Alright, fans adore Fallout New Vegas, probably because it was made by Obsidian Entertainment, so not Bethesda, and it's not your typical Fallout game. You're experiencing a Las Vegas type area. You don't start in a vault. You're a courier. So it's like very different from the mainline Fallout series. That's why it's not a mainline Fallout game. It doesn't have a number. It's just called New Vegas, and it's fun. I got to give you that. But it's not the best Fallout game. And I mean, I see why people like it. It's great. It's clever. It's very story focused. It's very interesting, very fun. But again, it's just number one for me. Now, again, remember, this is my opinion. You don't have to agree with it. You don't have to disagree. Well, you can disagree with it. You can leave me a scathing comment. But mainly because this is the game that I started with for Fallout. I never really jumped onto Fallout. I was more of an Elder Scrolls guy. But this game introduced me to Fallout, and that's Fallout 4. I love Fallout 4, alright? The game world, the Commonwealth, is beautiful. The story I love with the Institute, the Railroad, and the Brotherhood of Steel. The building settlement, now a lot of people don't like it. I loved building settlements, alright? I love micromanaging and managing things, so I got to build an entire settlement, had people come move in, I had to deal with their water and food, and I love it. And yeah, it introduced me to this world of Fallout, so it holds a special place in my heart. It's the most fresh in my mind too, because I just recently did another playthrough of it, and I love it. The DLC wasn't very strong. It could have been stronger, but I love it, and I just love the building mechanics. I can't stress that enough. I love being able to run around, build giant fortresses, and that's one thing I was looking forward to in Fallout 76. Sadly, it's lesser than it was in Fallout 4 because there's no settlement managing, but I love the settlement managing, even though Preston Garvey got kind of annoying. On my second playthrough, I didn't even side with him. I sided with the raiders and just took over all the settlements by raiding and built awesome raiding fortresses, and I love doing that. But yeah, that is my ranking for the Fallout games. Fallout Brotherhood of Steel, Fallout Tactics, Fallout Shelter, Fallout 76, Fallout 3, Fallout 2, Fallout New Vegas, and then Fallout 4. If you like this video, please, as always, do remember to drop a like, comment, subscribe, tell your friends, all that jazz. This was my opinion. You can tell me yours in the comments. And with that, I hope to see you in the next video.